Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap and give my opinion on Love During Lockup, Season 3, Episode 68, titled The Boy Is Mine. And this is the season finale. Let's get started. All right. The first couple up is Ty and Hottie. So we picked up where we left off last week with Boston and Ty. They're talking about Hottie, and Ty called Boston a doodle bird or a dodo bird. And Boston dips her hand in a water cup and flick the water in Ty's face. Ty jumps up and hits hits Boston, and then Boston's trying to hit her back, and they're just trying to slap each other. Eventually, the producer jumps in and separates them. And Boston friend try to get at Ty. Why you want to do that? Boston and Ty, they're fighting. Let them fight. Why are you gonna jump in? Ty's friend didn't jump in. Anyway, the producer tried to hold Boston's friend back from getting to Ty. And when Boston was getting into her vehicle, I think Ty threw some water or some drink on Boston. Then they both get into their car, cussing and fussing, and they drive off. So while Ty is driving, her phone rings, and it's Hottie. And he's calling her baby, and she's telling him, "Don't call me baby." Um, and he wants to know why she hasn't answered her phone in 3 days. I guess he's been calling her, and she hasn't been answering the phone. And Ty tells him that she knows that he has been dealing with Boston, and he never stopped because he claimed he dealt with her or dated her 12 years ago, and they're nothing but friends, and he doesn't really talk to her that much. But she told him that she knows that he's been talking to Boston, and he hadn't stopped talking to her. And Ty tells Hottie the reason she knows that he's still messing around with Boston is because twice now Boston tried to came to fight her. And if he wasn't dealing with Boston, Boston wouldn't be trying to fight her. And Ty also brought up the hoodie. Boston was wearing Hottie's hoodie, and Hottie said Boston bought the hoodie online, but Ty said you can't buy those online. The only way she could have gotten the hoodie was if Hottie gave Boston the hoodie. And Hottie's on the phone, and he's begging Ty not to leave him. He sounds so pathetic. He's just begging her and begging her and begging her. Finally, she hangs up the phone on him. And Ty said the only reason she believed Boston is because of the hoodie. Because the only way Boston can get the hoodie is through Hottie and his people, because you can't buy them online anymore. My ring light is dirty. Anyway, Ty said Hottie would have had to give the hoodie to Boston because you can't buy the hoodies online anymore. And then after she hangs up with him, she goes out with the old, in with the new. And Ty drives to the jail, and she lifts up her shirt and flash her boobs at the inmates. And that was that, showing off. And the update with Ty is she blocked Hottie from her phone calls, and I'm glad she did that. But now she's giving all her attention to BB and a bunch of other inmates. And that's the end of Hottie and Ty. Next is Hayley and Dalton. We see Hayley driving as usual. She's always driving. And she's on her way to meet up with her co-worker slash friend Emily. They go out on a gondola, which is really nice. I've never been on a gondola before. I want to go on a gondola. Why is my hair sticking out right here? Anyway, yeah, they get on a gondola, and it's really nice. And Emily tells Hayley that she has feelings for her, and Emily told the camera that she is in love with Hayley. So Emily kisses Hayley on the cheek, and in her confessional, Hayley said that she has dated women before, but she didn't do anything sexual with them. Hayley says she's happy for the attention that Emily is giving her because she's sad and lonely. And she starts to kiss Emily. I think in her confessional, she said she's still thinking about Dalton and what it would have been like to be with Dalton. And she said that she's going to not get into a relationship with, she's going to leave the relationship with Emily the same because, as just a friendship, because she doesn't know where she stands with Dalton. So next we see her, she's at home and she's waiting to video chat with Dalton. And apparently Dalton's been writing to her and sweet talking her, and of course she fell for it. So her and Dalton, they're video chatting, and she opened up this huge envelope that he had sent to her. And it's a picture of a drawing of her, Hayley, and her son Hendrix, that Dalton had somebody in the prison do it for her. And I guess that's his gift, apologizing to her. And then she apologizes to him. Why, I don't know. And then she asked him if he's heard from his ex. And he said no, and he got very defensive when he said it, which I'm sure is a lie. He has heard from his ex. My hair just be sticking up. What's this? Hey, anyway. Hayley is dumb to get back involved with Dalton. Anyway, Dalton said he's waiting for his review in January. I guess maybe he goes up like in January he goes to the parole board to see if he can get out early. I don't know. So they talk some more, and then the call gets cut off or it drops, and Hayley is just on cloud nine because she's back with Dalton. And whatever Dalton does to her, she deserves, because everyone told her how he is. And she's not listening. She's just so in love with Dalton. Okay, so the update is Hayley and Hendrix, they moved into their new home, and they can't wait for Dalton to join them. But I'm not sure if I heard that Dalton got out and him and Hayley are not together. I think I heard that somewhere. I hear so many things through the grapevine, I forget what I hear, but I think that's what I heard. Okay, on to the next couple, Santiba and Tulsi. We see Santiba, she's sitting by the water and she's watching boats go by, and she's praying for a millionaire to see her. Anyway, her phone rings and it's Tulsi, and Tulsi tells her that he is calling to check on her. I think the producers got in touch with Tulsi and asked him to call her so that they can get footage of a closure between Tulsi and Santiba. I think that's exactly what happened, because they're right there with her with the camera in her face, and boom, he calls. So I think the producers, they set that up. They want some footage, and they want some more. They need to fill some spots, because they don't have enough footage. And they want something interesting or exciting. So Tulsi said he wanted to bring closure to the situation. Tulsi tells Santiba that when he got out of prison, this is an excuse for not getting in touch with her once he got out of prison. But remember, he lied to her and told her that he wasn't getting out for 2 more weeks. So he still lied. Regardless of what story he made up here, he still lied. Because he's saying when he got out of prison, But before he got out of prison, he told her he wasn't getting out for 2 more weeks. So he lied. But he's saying when he got out of prison, he went on her social media and he saw some guy that posted some sexual stuff to her and then said that he was at Santiba's house. I don't know. He's so full of crap. So they're yelling at each other, and he's saying to her, I don't want you, I don't need you, and I never did, I never needed you. And he said he can do better, better than her. She told him she wasted a year on him. He said it wasn't a year, it was a few months, and I think it was a few months. She think it was 8 months or something like that. He told her that her wallet says differently. She told him that her wallet says differently, and he told her she was only sending him $20 a week, and she asked him, well, what did your girlfriend send you? And she cusses him out, for a little while, and then she hangs up on her. And I'm glad she was the one to hang up. And I hope she doesn't call him anymore. Okay, so the update is Santiba has met a new guy, and he's serving 10 years on drug charges. Santiba will never learn to leave those damn inmates alone. When is she going to leave those inmates alone? Anyway, next couple is Indy and Harry. Indy is back in Baltimore. She FaceTime with her psychic. She's calling her spiritual advisor. She tells her spiritual advisor about the trip to Ohio. And Indy wants to know from the spiritual advisor if she sees a happy ending for her and Harry. The spiritual advisor calls upon the spiritual guides. She has this pendant, and the pendant is going around and around in a circle, and she decides if it means yes or no. But the spiritual advisor asks the spiritual guides if there is marriage in the future for Indy and Harry. The spiritual advisor says yes. So Indy is overjoyed. She is just so happy about that. The spiritual advisor told Indy that the spirit is saying that Indy needs to tap into her personal power and put herself first. I don't know what that means. The spiritual advisor told Indy that there is going to be a lot of sacrifices. There's going to be a lot of issues. She said Harry is like the Knight of Cups and he needs physical touch. So basically, the spiritual advisor is saying that Harry is going to want sex now that he's out of prison. That's what I got out of it. So the spiritual advisor said that Harry thinks that he can see other people when Indy is not around. She said he has weak moments and it's not on an emotional connection. That means he's cheating. She said he needs physical touch. Okay, the spiritual advisor she's practically saying that he's cheating on her, that Harry is cheating on Indy. And that she should allow Harry to see other people when they're not together. That's what I got out of that. So the spiritual advisor told Indy that Harry is cheating on her, and Indy said the spiritual advisor has never been wrong. So Indy said she has been cheated on many times. She has been cheated on so many times that she thought of being in a polygamy relationship. But then she met Harry, and she thought that they could be true to each other. And then she says she's anxious to talk to Harry. Next we see Indy. She's at her sister's house. She goes to her sister's house, and they're drinking wine, and Indy tells her sister what the spiritual advisor said about Harry cheating. So then Indy goes on the sister asks Indy if she has proof of Harry cheating, and Indy says yes. She goes on Harry's social media account, and she found naked girls on his account. And this is just said, call Harry right now. So Indy video calls Harry, and apparently he can drink and smoke in the halfway house. He's drinking and smoking, having a good old time. And Andy tells Harry what the spiritual advisor said about him cheating. Harry said that Aniris, that's the spiritual advisor's name, Aniris is lying. Harry told Indy, no, he is not cheating. He tells her this about 3 times, but she's still asking him. And she's saying, tell me, I don't, if you have done, that's okay, just tell me. And he's not admitting to cheating. And he told her that he doesn't want to talk to her right now. That sounds guilty to me. Your girl is cheating, your fiance is cheating, accusing you of cheating, and you're like, I don't want to talk to you right now. No, you hash it out. Anyway, Indy told him that she's about to head his way and she's going to drag him out of the halfway house. Harry told Indy that if she chooses to believe Aniris and not him, and then that's the biggest mistake she'll make in her life. And that was that. The update is Indy plans to pick up Harry from the halfway house in a few weeks. And Indy's mother plans to interrogate Harry about his extracurricular activities. And that's the end of Indy and Harry. Next up, it's Max and Tara. We see Max, I think he's in the gym and he's weightlifting. He's lifting some dumbbells. He said he hasn't heard from Tara in a while. He said he's disappointed and embarrassed. Why is he embarrassed? Guess he's embarrassed because she ghosted him? Who cares? She's an inmate. Who cares? It's not like she's some wonderful, upstanding citizen who ghosted. I don't know. He says he's embarrassed, so I guess he's embarrassed. So he's disappointed and embarrassed that things didn't work out with Tara. He said she was using him for entertainment while she was in prison. How? How was he entertaining her? Maybe it's best I don't know. Anyway, he said his relationship is better with Alyssa. I guess he made up with Alyssa. He apologized to her and made up with her because he needed some place to sleep and he needed someone to have sex with. But Max is talking to an inmate named Elizabeth. She's 26 years old and I think she's from Georgia. Max video chats with Elizabeth and they chat for a little bit and she made sure she showed him, a little bit of her body. And her body looks okay. Body looks good. And Max also, he made sure he flexed some muscles for her. Showing off his muscles. And then Max asked her, when does she get out of prison? And she says 2032. That's 10 years from now. Oh my gosh. Really? She said this is her 5th year in prison. So what, she got about 15, 16 years? And Max says to her, that's rough. And then he says she must have done something pretty extreme to get that much time. So the call went off, and he never asked her what she did to be sent to get sent to jail. He never asked her that. But in the confessional, he says he's going to continue talking to inmates until he finds what he wants or finds what he's looking for. He never ever told us what he was looking for, so I don't know what is he looking for. Okay, the update with Max is Max and Alyssa, they're sharing a bed again, and Max is talking to multiple inmates, but Alyssa doesn't know about that. That's the end of Max and Tara. Next up, it's Gabby and Chris, and I think this is the last couple. Okay, we're 19 minutes in. Great. So we see Gabby and Essence driving back to the jail to pick up Chris. It is about 30 minutes until release time, and they get to the Felicity, and the guard tells them where to park. So they're sitting in the car waiting, and 9 a.m. rolls around. I don't know what time they got to the prison, but 9 a.m. rolls around, and it's time for Chris to be released. So they're in the car. They're waiting for an hour and 45 minutes, and they're just still waiting. They've been sitting there for an hour and 45 minutes, and they're still waiting. So Chris' mother calls, and she says bad news. The guard didn't come back out and tell them that he's not being released. The mother calls and talks to Essence, and she says she has bad news. Apparently, Chris had to do Fed time. So the U.S. Marshals, who are the feds, they picked him up. So Gabby is pissed, and she refuses to film anymore. And the producers are practically begging her, and all she wants to do is go home. So she gets in her car and she leaves. And that's the end of that. The update is Gabby is planning her wedding to Chris. She will pick him up when he is released from federal prison in March. So I guess that's next month. He's gonna be released from prison. I wish we could see him on Love After Lockup also, because we're gonna be seeing Indy and Harry. Why can't we see Chris and Gabby? I would love to see Chris and Gabby. So this is the end of my review, and I think next week Love After Lockup will start, and I'll be back with a review of Love After Lockup. Thank you so very much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.